Hello, I am Bert Janssen. Welcome back to the series of short videos in which I explain the book The Organizing Principle. There are no coincidences. By now you perhaps think that this series is about geometries. Let me assure you it is not. This series is about an organizing principle that uses shapes and geometries in order to communicate. It is very much like the mandalas of Carl Gustav Jung. Those mandalas are beautiful, colorful, packed with geometries, but in the end they are just tools used by our unconscious to express itself. And the other way around. We can use the same tool to get access to our unconscious, access to absolute knowledge. This series is about an organizing principle and the tools it uses, whereby squaring the circle is by far the most important tool of them all. It is actually an archetypal tool, as we will see when I get back to Carl Gustav Jung. But let me first give you a few more examples of where this tool is hiding. St. Peter's Square in the Vatican in Rome, Italy, is one of these places. The square has an oval shape that, in a very basic way, defines, contains squaring the circle. But not only that, the square contains also many white lines, and these lines again define squaring the circle. Many people have otherworldly experiences while being on St. Peter's Square. Now, this is undoubtedly influenced by the history of the square and by its place in the modern world. But the presence of squaring the circle, the ultimate tool of the organizing principle, cannot be neglected. The same goes for the quad at Christ Church in Oxford. Oxford has been hugely important for the history of England, and Christ Church has been and still is hugely important for Oxford. It is the place where Alice in Wonderland was created. And some of the sets of the Harry Potter movies were inspired by Christ Church. Central in Christ Church is the so-called quad. It is a square surrounded by buildings and overlooked by Tom Tower. It is the largest quad of Oxford. And although the quad is by far not symmetrical, it still defines, contains squaring the circle in various very elegant ways, both based on equal surface areas as well as on equal perimeters. Just stop the video and have a better look. So far we have seen how shapes and geometries, and especially squaring the circle, are hiding in early crop circles, in Neolithic landscapes, in ancient pagan sites, in more modern cathedrals, and even in squares and quads. But, as the word already indicated, they are hidden, triggering the question, how can it be that shapes and geometries of which we are not consciously aware can influence us? How can it be that something that is hidden impacts us? I will get back to that when I talk about the subliminal transfer of information. Subliminal means existing or functioning below the threshold of consciousness. And subliminal messengers and information are stimuli lying below the threshold of conscious awareness. In a future video, I will show that one does not need to be consciously aware of the presence of squaring the circle for it to do its work. And remember, squaring the circle is just a tool, and one does not need to be consciously aware of the presence of this tool for it to do its work. The good news is that we can use that same tool to our advantage, all depending on our awareness and our state of mind. I see you in the next video.